The former Silk Road wove the world together for centuries, stretching from the heart of China to the shores of the Mediterranean. Along its path, cities and empires rose and fell, civilizations and cultures met, shaping the world we know today. It was not only a route for trade, but also for ideas, technologies and knowledge between East and West. Just as silk, porcelain, spices and new inventions once made their way to Europe, today the technology of the future arrives along the Silk Road to the old continent. More than 10,000 kilometers. This is how far BYD's renewable energy vehicles traveled along the ancient Silk Road. The journey ended here in Budapest, and today, here in the European headquarters of BYD, we can learn about how technology, quite literally, is able to connect different cultures and civilization, and how green energy can build bridges between China and Europe.
What we call the Silk Road didn't exist only in the past. It exists today and will continue into the future, though its meaning changes. Its significance evolves just as university industry collaboration evolves when it involves companies operating the most advanced, sophisticated technologies. On this Silk Road, the most modern, cutting-edge technology is finally moving forward.
Fejlettebb technológia halad végre.
It is no coincidence that the final destination of the journey was Budapest. Hungary has become an important meeting point on the modern Silk Road, home to leading international companies such as Audi, Mercedes, BMW and Suzuki in the automotive industry, Samsung, Bosch and Huawei in electronics, and major Western IT and R&D centers like Ericsson, Nokia and Microsoft. All this is now complemented by the factories of Chinese companies such as CATL and BYD.
Hungary is a very small country. Seen from China, almost provincial in size, if not smaller, yet it plays a highly important role within the European Union. It lies at the crossroads of East and West, and although we are a small nation, we are surrounded by 8 neighboring countries. This means that we serve as an entry point to all of them for any of our partners. In this way, we can also become a bridgehead for Chinese companies. Moreover, we form a corridor not only towards the Baltic region and Northern Europe, but also towards the Balkans, while at the same time acting as a bridge between East and West.
BYD has not only brought its cars to Hungary, but also moved its entire European headquarters from the Netherlands to Budapest. To learn what new horizons this opens up for cooperation between Hungary and China, I asked the CEO of the National Investment Agency about the negotiations.
It took many rounds of negotiations before BYD made the decision to establish its European headquarters in Budapest. This means 2,000 jobs, with 90% of the employees holding higher education degrees.
What is being realized is something extremely important. If they want to manufacture cars for Europe, those cars will be developed thanks to a research and development center, utilizing both Hungarian and European talent.
If you look around in Hungary, it's hard to miss a car brand that just a few years ago most of us had never heard of. The Chinese company BYD is no longer just a name in the news, but it is right here, this time in the middle of a shopping mall. Ez az első alkalom, hogy BYD-ban ültök?
Szia, nekem első, a barátom, ő már többször ült.
És mi a tapasztalat?
Nekem az a tapasztalatom, hogy szépek különlegra modernek, jó minőségűek belülről.
We are talking about one of the most innovative companies in the world. It is creating jobs in Hungary, which is hard to call a bad thing, and I believe that in doing so, we have truly placed ourselves on a map in terms of manufacturing and R&D, a position we genuinely deserve.
Customers as well as major Hungarian car dealers are increasingly trusting Chinese brands. To find out why, I visited one of the leading automotive companies in the region.
Auto Wallis is a Central and Eastern European automotive company operating across 17 markets, engaged not only in car sales, but also in vehicle servicing and mobility-related services.
It seems that Auto Wallis has already been convinced by Chinese electric vehicles. The Hungarian firm now distributes several Chinese brands, including NIO and BYD as well.
We met the NIO brand about a year and a half ago, and I was impressed by their preparedness, the technology, and the disruptive thinking behind their charging technology.
Auto Wallis will soon become the first in the region to market Chinese NIO luxury cars, taking Chinese presence in the Central European market to a new level.
They not only produce premium products in Europe and the US, but also in China. The NIO brand, due to its premium status, will fit into the segment alongside BMW, Mercedes, Jaguar, and Land Rover in our portfolio.
The heart of an electric car is undoubtedly its battery, which today can be replaced not only at these charging stations, as NIO's Biatorbágy plant manufactures dozens of battery swapping stations each year, where the entire battery can be replaced just within a few minutes.
The
batteries are stored at the stations, monitored continuously, charged according to demand. NIO users arriving at the stations can initiate a battery swap at the push of a button. The car parks itself, performs the swap, and the next action is simply, when the car notifies them, a control is returned to the driver. Depending on the type of swap station, a full battery replacement takes roughly 3.5 to 4 minutes.
Még egy kávét se tudunk meginni ennyi idő alatt.
Igen, jobb esetben.
As I learned, the battery swap stations are not only for replacing batteries, they also enable energy storage. Surplus energy can be taken from the grid and supplied back when needed.
Remélem rengeteget segítettem itt a munka folyamatban.
Szia! Rengeteget, köszönöm szépen segítséget.
Mióta dolgozol itt egyébként?
I've been working here nearly 3 years, starting shortly after the factory opened. I was fascinated by the battery swap station idea from the start. It represents the future of electric vehicles.
This is the only factory outside China that produces battery swap stations. The Biatorbágy plant currently serves a total of 6 Western European countries. In addition to the swap stations, the batteries themselves will soon be manufactured in Hungary as well.
We have arrived to the eastern part of Hungary, in the suburbs of Debrecen, where one of Hungary's largest industrial investments, the CATL battery factory, is under construction. The factory not only brings us closer to the future of electric mobility, but it also offers jobs, new training opportunities, and innovative technologies to the region.
Hungary has begun its transition to electric mobility, and battery plants provide the foundation for automakers to establish new production bases.
We have the best technology in the world, so we invest a lot in the technology. We have around 20,000 engineers only do the development. It's the biggest in the world. We designed the biggest capacity in the Hungarian plant out of China. When I drive my first electric car, the range is only 150 kilometers range. But today, in China or even in Europe, there were some cars already can achieve 700 kilometers. All the technology today is ready, so the future is not far away.
When we talk about batteries, most people think about electric cars, but it goes far beyond that. Batteries play a crucial role not only in electric vehicles, but also in storing renewable energies. Solar parks, electric grids, but even household energy supplies can become safer and more sustainable with their help.
Internal combustion engines have reached their limits. The EU pushed automotive goals to the maximum, but environmentally, there's no further improvement. Electric vehicles allow emission-free driving, meeting EU standards, The EU's flagship Green Transition Program and 2050 carbon neutrality goal remain. Road transport accounts for about 30% of emissions, so it must change.
Humanity faces common challenges which require collective responses. Climate change, for example, can be mitigated by replacing petrol and diesel with electric vehicle technology. Chinese companies play a role in Europe with their technology.
But what does all this mean for Hungary? Chinese investments simultaneously bring new jobs, technology, and international attention.
It would be a historic mistake to miss the development scene in China, South Korea, or Japan. Eastern countries now account for a larger share of global FDI than 10 to 15 years ago. The Hungarian government's priority is to secure the future of the Hungarian automotive industry. If someone visits Debrecen today, they can see road development, railway upgrades, improvements in public transport, and the expansion of water capacity. Essentially all developments that contribute to improving the quality of life for residents. In addition, the educational infrastructure is also developing. In Debrecen, vocational training centers will be renewed, where students learn in a dual education system. Part of their training takes place at school, while they also work in factories to prepare for employment there.
The University of Debrecen and CATL's Hungarian subsidiary have already signed an agreement on strategic cooperation.
We need the people to working with us together. We are cooperating with some university. We also have the relationship with the vocational training center of Debrecen.
Engineer, technologists and researchers can participate in industrial projects and gain practical training.
Automobile manufacturing is moving in a direction that is inevitably about innovation and electric mobility.
It gives Hungarian engineers and young people the opportunity to start their careers or complete their internships in Budapest, in their own country, within an international, world-class environment.
This will provide a huge momentum for the economy, education, and cultural relations. Hungary has vast experience in vehicle manufacturing of all kinds. Blathiato, Kando Kalman, Kasanka János, Galam Joseph, and the list goes on are historical figures in vehicle production. We have already manufactured trucks, airplanes, ships, everything, and our universities are well prepared to support these companies in this field.
The ancient Silk Road connected the world for centuries. On the modern Silk Road, electric cars, innovation, and joint investments come together. In the transportation of the future, electric mobility will play the defining role. The names of Budapest, Debrecen, Szeged, and Bihatorbágy are increasingly appearing on the international map.